I also want to summarize for our viewers what we're talking about here, because multiple Iranian missiles were definitely seen hitting the Nevatim and other air bases. That we know for sure. But what kind of damage happened? You've just seen what Ankit has explained. Iranian Fatah-2 missiles, hypersonic missiles, are said to have been used to penetrate Israeli air defenses and hit these particular air bases. In this particular image, you can see the Nevatim Air Base. Iranian media claimed 30 Israeli fighter jets were destroyed. Israel has categorically denied this and said all the fighter jets were intact. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a moment. And as you can see in these satellite images, there is damage inside the station. So is the truth somewhere in the middle is the big question that we're asking right now. Okay, I want to bring in more information about the F-35 now. The F-35 fighter, 39 F-35 fighters were supplied by the United States to Israel. They are by far the most advanced fighter aircraft that Israel has and is one of the most advanced fighter aircraft in the world. Israel operates approximately 40 F-35 stealth fighters, many of them based at the Nevatim Air Base. They are used in airstrikes. They are virtually invisible to radar. They're basically fifth-generation fighter aircraft. The United States has them. The UK has them. Israel also has them. The F-35s are mostly housed at the Nevatim Air Base. Satellite images show damage, as Ankit just showed us, at the Nevatim Air Base. But the Israeli media has added a very interesting detail. They say that the F-35s may have all been in flight, not even at the base, during the missile attack. The Iranian media, remember, says 30 of these aircraft were destroyed in the missile attack. But Israeli media, or at least sections of the Israeli media, are saying that all of these aircraft were not even there at the base. Ankit, are you hearing anything of this kind? Okay, we'll bring Ankit back in just a moment. But the missile that the Iranians used to penetrate what is globally considered to be one of the most impregnable air defense systems, the Iron Dome, the David Sling, and the Arrow 2 systems, an Iranian weapon called the Fatah-2, a hypersonic missile used for the first time, is what apparently managed to do it. Here's everything we know about that missile.
Nearly 200 missiles rained on Israel on 1st of October. A majority apparently missing the mark. But there is one Iranian missile that did manage to penetrate Israel's famed multi-layered defense system renowned as the Iron Dome. This is the first visual proof of the Iranian superweapons impact on Israel's Nevatim Air Base. The missile left a gaping hole on the hangar roof. The airbase houses Israel's F-35 fighter jets, and there is no clarity on whether any of these jets was struck as of now. This missile is none other than Iran's latest Brahmastra, the hypersonic medium-range Fatah-2 missile. The missile strikes hit areas that are near key Israeli military bases, including the Nevatim, Tel Aviv, and the Hypersonic Air Base. These are home to Israel's F-35 fighter jets used in the aerial strikes and raids in West Asia. Iran claimed several of the jets were destroyed, a claim that has been denied by Israel.
We have
the ability to reach and attack any point in the Middle East, and those of our enemies who have not understood this until now will understand it soon. We know that the holiday is not complete without the abductees. We are obliged to continue and do everything to return them, and we grieve for the voids that have fallen.
This is the first time Iran has used its Fatah-2 missile, and its aim was to target and pierce Israel's air defense. This missile is a big boost for Iran's firepower. Fatah-2 is equipped with a hypersonic glide vehicle warhead, boasts a range of 1,500 kilometers with speed between Mach 5 and 20. It is an astounding 5 times the speed of sound. The missile can evade defense systems of Israel with trajectory changes and has a spherical solid fuel engine with movable nozzle. Fatah-2 missile is also equipped with hydrogen fuel, which helps it accelerate outside the Earth's atmosphere, while it can steer within the atmosphere using aerodynamic control surface. The Fatah-2 missile used by Iran marks a big escalation of war with Israel. All eyes will now be on Israel's next move. Bureau Report, India Today.
And I want to bring on to our coverage Group Captain M.J. Augustine Vinod. He's an air power expert. He's a veteran fighter pilot himself. Group Captain Vinod, welcome. Thank you for your time here on India Today. A couple of things that we're looking at amidst a storm of claims versus counterclaims, specifically on the missile attack on a couple of Israeli air bases, Group Captain. And I wanted your view on this. You know, Iran claims that many of its missiles managed to penetrate those air defense systems and wrought a huge amount of damage at the Nevatim Air Base, you know, destroying virtually the entire F-35 fleet. Israel, of course, has categorically denied this. Satellite images show that there is some damage, not the kind of damage that Iran was, sort of hoping for. But the fact that many of these missiles did manage to hit the base is still a big deal, isn't it?
Certainly. In fact, you just mentioned Arrow David Sling followed by Iron Dome. A three-layered air defense has been penetrated, and some missiles have landed. And one of which we were discussing earlier. I was just listening to your discussion with the previous the speaker. This is the image that is going around in the world over today, and everybody is discussing it. But what misses everybody, Shiv, is during war, even I'm sure you've gone to many air bases in India and you have seen such hangars on the tarmac.
Yes.
These are peacetime hangars. They are there to protect the aeroplane from the elements, from the sunlight, rain and everything, and also allow the people to load the weapon, do some minor maintenance activities, etc. In a war-like scenario, no one puts their aeroplane here because it is calling for, open air killing as it happened during Six-Day War. Six-Day War of Israel opened up this can of worms, and Egypt was down to nearly aircraft because they were all out in the open, and Israeli Air Force went and took it out, and the war was over in 6 days. Let me bring out the same image here. Now you look at, this is that particular hangar that we are talking about.
Yeah.
But look here, just 200 meters down the road, you will see every single, this is called URP. I want to explain URP in 30 seconds. URP is nothing but unit risk principle. What URP talks about is you put every egg in one basket, not all eggs in one basket, which means you will need one missile that directed for one target, and that too, that target is the weapon to target matching has to be done so that the weapon can penetrate the hardened shelter. And you see number of hardened shelters here. If these many hardened shelters were made for this hangar, which is a peacetime hangar, all the aeroplanes would have been in this hardened shelter and not here. So even if it was there, A, it was a mistake. B, maximum 2 to 3 aeroplanes may have been damaged.
Yeah.
So that is the long and short of what I wanted to tell people.
Understood.
People look at image and start...
Because in the Israeli media, there's also a claim that there were no aircraft even at the base because there was advanced intelligence about these incoming missiles, and these aircraft were scrambled and all of them were in the air. Is that a possibility as well, sir, that the aircraft were not even at the base?
That is bunkum. Shiv, it is not possible because if all the aircraft are in there, at some time, all the aircraft will be on the ground.
Yeah.
So it is not possible. It is a loop. Especially in a war-like scenario, you will have somebody doing combat air patrol, you will have somebody doing the attack, you will have somebody doing the base defense. and you will have somebody doing VAVP defense.
Yeah.
So and the rotation is on. Most certainly more than 10 aeroplane should have been on the ground. But my only point, Shiv, is it is not here. It will be here. So that is
do you think there is a generous measure, Group Captain, of psychological psyops and mind games, obviously, between Israel and Iran? Could that be at play here? Iran claiming 30 F-35s have been destroyed because they know what the F-35 sort of brings to the fight. I mean, these are fifth-generation fighters, virtually invisible to radar, capable of conducting those strike missions even in contested airspace. Explain that a little bit for us. The Iranian claim that they've managed to wipe out Israel's fleet of F-35s.
Super question, Shiv, and I know you know the answer, but you want me to explain it to the people who are watching our show. There is something called BDA. Some call it bomb damage assessment. In Air Force, we call it the battle damage assessment. Before you send the weapon, you will have your BDA plan in place. And why BDA? Because your next round of weapon should not go to a target which you already destroyed. So you want to press that button towards another target which you haven't destroyed, for which you need information. In previous years, the BDA aeroplane used to fly the last, bring out the pictures, and based on that, you will send your second and the third wave. Here today, BDA happens with the use of satellite. So you press the button when your low Earth orbit satellite is about to reach Nevatim Air Base. You will time it in a manner that the missiles are reaching Nevatim and your satellite is reaching Nevatim, and immediately you get a PDA. I'm sure Iran has done it. And I am also sure Iran exactly knows where all it sprayed its missile and where all it went and hit. But like you correctly said, the PSYOPs has to continue because PSYOPs is also part of operations and nothing wrong in PSYOPs. I mean, every trained military and country and diplomacy are supposed to come together to sing the same song to create some kind of fear in the minds of people. Because eventually, the country will capitulate based on the pressure from the people, not how you were gained or lost in a war.
Group Captain Augustine Vinod, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for making some of those concepts very, very clear to us and our viewers. Pleasure speaking to you. Thank you very much, sir. Well, meanwhile, while we've been talking about bunkers and tunnels in Gaza, in Lebanon and elsewhere, well, there are tunnels even inside Israel. In fact, in the country's capital of Tel Aviv. My colleague, Emily Botol, is in Tel Aviv, where she's been reporting on these makeshift tunnels where citizens have been advised to collect in case of a large-scale missile attack. Take a look at what she sent us.
Right now, in a hostage square inside a makeshift tunnel, simulating the tunnels in which 101 hostages are believed to be held by Hamas in Gaza. The IDF confirmed earlier today the elimination of Rawi Mushtawa, the head of Hamas's government in Gaza, since Hamas's October 7 massacre of 1,200 people and its invasion of 22 southern Israel communities. Israel's ground operation has led to the elimination of many elements of Hamas's leadership, most notably in July, the elimination in Tehran of Hamas political chief Ismail Haniyeh. Many Israeli officials have likened Yahya Sinwar, Hamas's chief in Gaza, believed to be the architect of the October 7 attack, to a dead man walking. This is Amelie Bodbod reporting from Tel Aviv for India Today. Sharona, can you tell us why you decided to come here today? What was the motivation?
It's the Rosh Hashanah Eve. There is a dinner, a family dinner at noon, and I felt I couldn't go to have a traditional meal with my family. My heart said I must be here. So we have one car. We went all together to the family near Beer Sheva, and I came to here. I left my family there to have the meal, and I came here.
There is a lot that has happened in the last few days. 2 days ago, Iran launched a massive ballistic missile attack on Israel with over 180 ballistic missiles. Just today, the Iranian proxy, the Yemen Houthis, launched 2 drones at central Israel. Were you worried when you took your car and you decided to come here?
You mean if I felt safe enough to do it? I think the citizens of Israel it's not so good, but we're used to such a reality. I mean, when the missile attack was finished, we knew it finished, we continued our life. So that was what I didn't think about it even. I did think about all the families of the hostages. They don't have a new year. They don't celebrate for a year now. This Monday it will be a year, and my heart is with them, and that's why I came here.
Thank you so much. A very sober and difficult New Year for the Jewish people here in Israel. This is Emily Badval reporting from Tel Aviv for India Today.